Look at verse 11 one more time. It says, God said, "But put forth thy hand now and touch all that he has. He will surely curse you to your face." Okay. I've kind of had two maxims, or two things I've tried to live by ever since college. My little philosophy of life, if you want. One is to cast no shadow, and what I mean by that is I'd like to be opaque in this world. I'd like to be so that I never want to be standing between God and anybody else. I don't want to take up any of God's rays which are meant for other people. I'd like to be invisible, or as invisible as possible. Okay. I don't want to be a cipher or anything. I want God to use me, but I just don't want to be that visible. I want God to be visible through me. I want God to be magnified through me somehow, but I don't want people to just see me. And the second thing is I like to beat God to the burn. What I mean by that is I try to remove things in my life which I think might be used by Satan to tempt me to compromise. Okay? I try to remove things from my life which I think Satan can use as a wedge. Okay? You may never, for instance, you may never lose your health the way Job did. You may never lose your wealth the way Job did. You may never lose every single member of your family the way Job did. You may not lose all of your property and all of your everything the way Job did. Okay? Especially all at once. But let me tell you this right now. Even though you may never lose your health like that, and your wealth, and your family, and your possessions, and your home, you better surrender them now, as though you have. You better surrender your health to the Lord today, and just give it up. You better surrender your wealth today. You better surrender your family, and you better surrender your stuff. Because all that stuff that you don't surrender, even if you never lose it, Satan has that against you. And he can use that to put a wedge between you and God, even if you're never going to lose it. And so, in your own lives, and as a church here too, we need to be prepared today to give up everything. Okay? And to not hold on to anything. So that Satan can't use anything to call us to compromise, and to call us to fear and anxiety and worry. Okay? And so, that's obviously something that is wonderful about Job. Obviously, Job valued his relationship with the Lord more than he valued his health, his wealth, his family, and his stuff. Because when he lost all of that stuff, he didn't lose his head, did he? Okay. And he didn't flinch. He wobbled a lot, but he didn't fall. Okay. And that's purely because of the fact of how much he loved God. Love is not a luxury. And I'm telling you, when God puts the pinch on your life, you're going to find out whether you love him or not. Okay? And that love is just not a luxury. Your life is a love story. So like Martin Luther said, when I read that quote during the prayer time, to Martin Luther, his greatest enemy was his own heart. The thing he feared more than anything else was his own heart. And he said, there's a power greater for evil in our lives and in the church than the Pope and all his cardinals. It's myself. And I think you have to identify that enemy here today too. And say, I'm my biggest problem. Okay? And if I'm putting walls around myself and I'm the problem, I'm walling in the problem. So we need to be healed from within so that we can be useful without. And so I just pray for myself and for us as a church going forward that we would see righteousness and faith and love as necessities, okay? And not something that's just reserved for those few people who seem to be blessed with a lot of spiritual discipline. We need to never look at those things as peculiar or extraordinary. We should look at the greatest. Mother Teresa should be normal, okay? And Martin Luther should be normal. Adele Carter should be normal, okay? Even though she was extraordinary to us, she should be normal. Because righteousness and faith and love are the norm for the Christian. And when we all become normal, God will do great things.